Welcome. It's
Welcome.
summer. It's summer at last. Welcome to the warmer time of the year. I hope it's warm where you are. It is toasty here, but it's a little bit cold in the shade. But we're very happy to have you with us.
It's not about weather. It's about stuff, music and things. Yes. So we've been doing a lot of stuff this month. Let's go to the what we do. There we go. So we've got some news.
Yeah, we've got news, gig news, super booth sort of update, other industry news, lots of little bitty bits to share.
Yes, and also a bit arty this month. Finally, I hear everyone shouting. Yeah, we went to the Electric Dreams. It was actually the last but one day of the exhibition. We finally made it. We're going to talk about that. Also, it's, yeah,
yeah, and I'm going to give a little bit of an update on album progress. We've been, doing things.
Yes, we have.
Our things
yes,
that
we have.
Everybody has to do.
Yes, there's a synth of the month.
Yay!
You'll be delighted to know. And we've got a music video from The Vault.
Lots of stuff.
Lots of stuff is happening like that. Also, I've got stuff set up in the room just now, which we could cut to at any moment. We'll see how we feel.
Some exciting live synthesizer action.
Yes, and I don't know if Andrew Kubachevsky is in the chat. You're not, but just apologise to you, Andrew, because we've both been rather ill.
We had a bit of a...
and I even had to do the covering of Superbooth whilst quite unwell, and I'm feeling a bit under the weather again. I don't know what's going on. Venusian flu, I guess.
Change of the season, isn't it?
Yeah, change of the season and what have you. But anyway, let's get on with that all on BOOcast number 36. 35, sorry.
Yeah.
That means
ahead of ourselves.
That means next month's our 3-year birthday.
Yeah. Oh my God. I
We
just
should do
remembered
something.
last year's cake. I'm not going to do that again.
Don't do it again.
I nearly lost my mind.
Yeah, no, that was a good cake.
It was a good cake, though.
Good cake. It was. But anyway, all that coming up for you. BOOcast number 35, which starts right now. Wonderful to have you back. Thanks for joining us. What's going on?
Well, being summertime, we are happy to announce we have a summer gig coming up for all our fans who are able to make it to the east. We have a gig with the Crash of Moons Club. They're having an all-dayer in the garden. It's near Canterbury, in a place called the Anchor Inn in Wingham, not Wigan. Close, but not, Wingham, not Wigan. Very different location.
Close, but no black pudding.
Yeah, so it's going to be a wonderful all-day, very summery, couple of days before my birthday, so woohoo, be sort of a birthday gig as well.
Awesome. Yeah.
Loads of different artists. They have a sort of a video preview on their Instagram of last year. It's a gorgeous old pub. There's going to be outdoor garden stuff, and it's all going to move inside for the evening, where we'll be playing in the evening. So I think the early bird tickets are actually sold out, but check out the link. I'll paste it into the chat and come and see us. It's going to be loads of fun.
Fantastic. You're just not quite you're being slightly cut off by the gate, and I can't get back in and fit it. So
I will be
a
on
shouter
my
today.
Mic.
So is that everything we need from you?
From about the gig, yes. Oh, look, Wagyu's already there. Apologies to Wagyu. We had made him invisible, for those who weren't aware. We've accidentally clicked on the hide user from channel instead of make moderator.
Sorry, man.
Sorry, Wagyu. That was completely our fault.
Sorry.
Thanks for helping us fix it. I'm going to... Now, last month, there was talk about Superbooth. And Peter Coit, that we asked for your predictions. Peter Coit predicted an Oxy Mark II and an Instruo standalone synth. Well, he nailed the Instruo prediction. They came out with the Seashell, which is a standalone synth.
Yeah, desktop synth. Delicious.
Yeah, desktop semi-modular sort of thing. And they're lovely people. So worth checking out their video from Sonic State, which Chris was helping them with all the coverage during the show. Yeah, I was. As aforementioned, during quite a difficult flu, but
yes, indeed.
You did it.
That was okay. Let me just see if I can.
There was one other prediction before you cut away. AD Vision and Andrew Brooks were hoping for a new Electribe from Korg, but it was all about the Phase 8, which is coming in early 2026. So that was the only sort of news from them. They were demonstrating that, and yeah, it's sort of a acoustic synthesizer, which is interesting.
That's awesome. Listen, do you know what? I'm going to be really unprofessional. I'm going to cut to this.
Really?
Because I can't hear you're getting clipped. Speak for me.
Okay, speaking. Testing 1 2. I'm speaking now. Gosh, I can see all of your desktop.
Yeah.
How do you rate his desktop, folks?
It's a mess.
Is it as messy as yours, or is yours messier?
Let's cut away from that immediately.
I think it's pretty good.
Okay, I think you sound a bit better now.
Okay, thank you, darling. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm hovering further away. It's because I'm looking at the screen.
Absolutely dreadful of me. I'm sorry.
No, dreadful of me. Sorry. Anyway, we're all together now. So yes, congratulations to Peter Quate on that nailed it prediction about the seashell.
Was the Oxy? I can't remember. I can't remember seeing
Oxy
at Superbooth. Did anyone notice? To be honest, it was all a bit of a blur. But yeah.
I mean, it usually is.
Rate my desktop, new feature. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. And Andrew, yes.
Yes. What did Andrew say?
A book. The book.
The book?
It doesn't matter. The Moog book.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. Noted in brain.
Okay, good. Well, other news this month.
Sorry.
Yeah, I thought this was interesting news from Bandcamp. Bandcamp have got a new playlists feature that is in beta. Now, it's interesting because, okay, so what? Everybody does playlists, and what's new about that? Well, this one, you can only make the playlists out of tracks that you have purchased. And of course, there's the usual Bandcamp no free-for-all streaming. There's usually a limit of 3 plays, and then you're directed to the album to purchase it. So I quite like this idea. Some people were complaining about it, saying, "Oh, so what happens to the artists? What happens to the artists who have like no viewers and no followers, and they're never going to get on a playlist?" And I thought, well, that's not true. I follow loads of artists who have very small audiences, and you can see from this 2 playlists here that these are by Bandcamp people. There's one from Ramsgate Radio, the Bandcamp show, where they've featured a bunch of local artists and others. And I quite like the look of this Blips and Beats 2025 mix as well. It's really chiptune heavy. It's quite fun. So I'll put the links to those into the chat.
Awesome.
But I thought, yeah, this is a good thing because it's bringing back sort of a prestige to owning and curating your music collection, which can only be a good thing. Sort of because, you know, we all know music's been massively devalued as a cultural medium since the advent of streaming and, you know, the minimal profits that get shared out. And I think this is a way to bring back kind of, you know, bring it back into something that people like to do. So I think it's good.
Yeah, I'm really distracted now because I'm gonna do this again.
Oh.
Sorry, but I can see that it's your gate. Speak for me.
Speaking. Hello. Testing.
Let's give it some.
Another flash of the sexy desktop there.
There we go.
Oh yeah, I've seen it all.
Yeah. Go again.
He's showed me the desktop and I've seen it all. It's too late.
There. And now.
Can you tell what I'm quoting?
Yeah, you seem to be.
I'm quoting Patrick Stewart in Extras.
Yes, that's what you were
Or
being.
her clothes fell off.
I've seen everything.
It's too late. I've seen everything.
She tries to cover herself up, but it's too late. I've seen everything. Yeah, fantastic. Right, where are we?
So yes, Bandcamp. I think that's great.
You sound all right now.
I haven't made my own playlist yet, but I will. I'm building one. You see, I like my playlists to be 1 hour 20 because that's how long a seat you could use to fit on a CD, and that's how long I've always made my mixes. I've got about 40 minutes on my latest mix. Yeah, I'll have to go back. I've long considered sharing my sort of biannual mixtapes with our boosters, so maybe I'll do that.
Yes, and that's something I'm definitely going to do. In fact, I'm finally going to do it. I am going to do it. I'm going to do it either tonight, probably not tonight, but tomorrow. I'm going to rip all of the stems that are on our Google Drive, which you have access to. I'm getting rid of them all. If you want them, take them now, as soon as you can. I'm clearing the lot, and I'm just filling the Google Drive with compulsory game stems. And for our birthday, I just want you to do as many remixes of the last album as you like, if you want to be involved. And what we're going to do is just release it probably free of charge, give it to the world as some kind of quick celebration. So if any of you are interested in that, please just let us know. I'll give you set up an email address for it, and we can just like put it out there.
Yeah.
Are you all right with that?
Yeah, I think that sounds great. I love hearing what people hear in their remixes.
Yeah.
And different things.
Absolutely. I mean, we've already got loads of fantastic remixes, which I might have to recontact everyone and say, can you send us the WAVs? And so we've got the high quality ones. And we'll get them all out there. Let's do it. Let's just put them all out there. If you're all happy with us to do that. If you're not, of course, we will honour your dislike of the idea.
Yeah.
But I think I want to do that. Let's celebrate the birthday with that.
That's a great
as an idea. Okay,
very,
let's do that.
Nice.
I'm not saying we'll actually have it. You don't have to have it finished by our birthday.
No, it's only a month away.
Well, yeah, it's only a month. You can do it. Nah, anyway. Sorry, back to you.
Oh, well, back to both of us. So
right.
We had, an interesting month, which we'll talk about the making stuff later. But yeah, literally this weekend, we kind of sat down and had a breather, and you said, oh my God, that Electric Dreams exhibition at the Tate is ending tomorrow. It's our last chance. Should we go up and do it?
Yeah, so some of you may have heard of it or may have even been there, but it's an exhibition about art and technology and all the different aspects of it, whether you're getting machines to create things or a dialogue with machines or just simply using technology that usually wasn't available to artists. Many of these artists were working with Bell Labs and other large corporations where they'd basically be given access to machinery that normally people didn't have. But back in the early days, it's quite lovely. There's loads of clacking motors and lights and flashing. So what we've done, I was originally going to, in fact, I'll just cut to this. I will just hit play. Hold on.
We were going to talk through the whole video.
I was going to talk through the whole video, and we were going to make some electroacoustic music, but we've got something going here. It's quite musical, actually. It's all coming from over there. That's the Fusebox, the Cobol, and the Trigon, and the Freak, and the Moog occasionally. But we'll cut back to that. That's enough of that. Turn that off. So we were going to make a sort of acoustic, electroacoustic sort of fake, sort of experimental avant-garde soundtrack to go with each piece, and I thought, that'd be great. We'll do that. But we cut the video together, and I found the background sound so lovely, and it's just the sounds of being in a gallery. It just feels really pleasant, and so we've made a little trip to the Tate Modern for you. We're going to be there with you. We're going to have some fun together. We're going to look at some art. And I just kick back and enjoy. So here we go. Well, let's start that again. Hold on. VLC being a naughty thing. So here's Bridget.
Sun's coming out in patches. Sheep. Lots of sheep.
Yeah, hope you enjoyed that.
Peter Coit said, what an amazing environment to do an EMOM in.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really great exhibition. You know, normally I'm not really that blown away by an exhibition, but it was just so good.
It was quite a wide range as well, like really from the 50s up till late 90s, I suppose. Yeah. Huge body of work. And Ian J. Cole said he was lucky to go as well, but a few exhibits didn't work when they went. A few didn't work for us as well. There was trouble with the mercury vapor lamp, which I really wanted to see working because they're quite fizzy and magical.
Mercury vapor.
But these are old machines, some of them, really, really old. But I love how, like, especially the first couple of rooms with those motors and things, it's very inspiring because, like, as Wagyu said, I'd love to have one of those lamps from Otto Pieni's Room of Light in my house. When I sat in there, I was like, can we have a room like this in our house? I just want a room like this to go to.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where you don't realise you're really thirsty for something, and then you go, "Oh, I really needed this to happen to me right now," because it's been quite a sort of
up and
what's
down.
the word?
Sort of month.
Droughty. Yeah. Inspiration-wise.
Well, we haven't been to London for like a year nearly.
No, it was about 9 months.
9 months,
last time we
yeah.
were there. No, 6 months. There we go.
It was so great to see all of that. Incredibly stimulating.
Yeah, really,
stuff.
really great. And I wish I could say, go and check it out, but it's just finished.
So next time, if you let us know about any of these exhibitions, and we'll do our best to go early so that you can go and see what it's all about. So we can, report in a more timely fashion. Peter Coit was asking if Daisy Daisy from 2001 was a Bell computer song, and Wagyu answered it was an IBM computer being operated by Bell Labs.
Okay.
So there you go. But yeah, it was interesting seeing those sort of connections to pop culture as well, because it was Rebecca, the dancer at the end by Rebecca. She did all the Kraftwerk CG covers from the 90s.
Electric Cafe stuff. I think
Yeah.
that their heads.
Gary Aylward said he went to how am I going to say this? Jean Tingley Museum in Basel, and it was fascinating. It was really cool to see.
Jean
that.
Tingley. Again, that was another one that wasn't actually working, so the motor wasn't working on that one.
Yeah.
But we were going to make a sort of voiceover for it. We were going to talk over it, and we just cut it together. I went, the sounds of a gallery with electromechanical things going on and strange bits of music and people walking around was quite soothing.
The music was part of the art as well, and like as you said, you were saying before, I like how there's this sudden ominous sound on this cut that I did in the video, the zoom. But that's all just like as you move from one space to another, the art bleeds into each other. And it was really inspiring. It was good stuff.
It really was inspiring. Quite a lot of the stuff actually reminded me of our light boxes from the past as well.
Yeah.
Especially that sort of Logic one. And the one that didn't really come across as the strobe lights, it's called Squares, which were sound activated. So if you made a sound, the strobe lights changed speed, and the oscillating sculpture appears to move in different ways because the strobe is caught exactly. It looks like it's still, but it's not.
Yeah.
But because of cameras and frame rates and all that, it doesn't quite work. But it was it's great. I loved that.
That was really good. I wanted to go back and try and film it more, but it filled up with more people. But it wasn't too busy, really. It was comfortable.
It was great.
Plenty of time. Everybody
really
took turns and looked in. I wanted to share, just a bit about the Zero group, because that was kind of the second room we were in, and I really loved it. It was that early one with the lens rotating, the board of nails, and I really loved the 3069 white dots on an oval background.
Did you see the twitch? Because we zoom in. If you go back and look at it, hopefully...
It's the one that looks like sort of grasses on a big wooden board, and it's full of tiny hidden motors, and it's designed to catch your eye in the peripheral vision.
I think someone in the comments said someone's dandruff.
But you're looking at it and
electric
it's
dandruff.
suddenly like, did that move? And then you look where it moves, and then it moves somewhere else. It's like, oh, it did move. But it was good. It was very engaging. But the Zero group shared a utopian view of the future and how art could transform society. Taking their name from the countdown for a rocket launch, Zero aimed to create a zone of silence and pure possibilities for a new beginning, aiming to directly engage the full range of the viewer's senses. And I love the sort of sense of optimism and hope that these early artists had about technology and the ways we were going to use it. I mean, the Brautigan poem, it was in there, All Watched Over by Machines of Loving Grace, and lots of poetry stuff. Just it felt really positive and exciting.
I've said it before, but the whole philosophy, the philosophical idea of becoming a machine to create art yourself, a human being acting like a machine, repeating things, or doing or behaving in a certain way.
Or like Kraftwerk.
Well, like Kraftwerk, like they're humans pretending to be machines. It's the diametric opposite of what we're living through now, which is machines pretending to be humans. There was something in the news I saw recently. I can't remember the lady's name, but she's basically an influencer type. She's been doing it since she was 13 or something ridiculous that. Had her own clothing brand at 15, and now she's 20. She's got so many people trying to contact her and stuff. She decided to build an AI clone of herself, and so she got in touch with some company. They did it, and it was marketed as a virtual girlfriend.
To deal with all the messages?
Yeah, so it's basically if these people were allowed to interact and the AI of her, which is somehow modelled on her, would react with them. She made $700,000 in the first week from this venture, which is great. But then she went and checked into some of the comments and realised that there was an inappropriate and overly sexualised language going on and quite disturbing things being shared. And she's very upset about it now. And I just think, well, what do you expect?
Yeah, what did you think was going to happen?
I mean, I don't know. So,
she's only 20, though.
Well, there we go. Yes. But, yeah, as I say, it was refreshing to see where this... I don't think we're going down a path that's been actually controlled by creative, imaginative individuals. I think we're going down a path that's controlled by very rich people who've read 2 or 3 science fiction novels from the late 70s and thought, that's a really good idea. And that's where we're going.
They missed the warnings.
It's not... they didn't get the irony of various... futuristic theories.
But it really reminded us both of the power of art to transform as well, and to open people's eyes and to remind you, just to see things, to see that other people share these different ways of thinking and prompting you to think in a different way. It's just great. Yeah. So there is hope, basically.
Yeah, it's really nice to be around you guys as well, and girls, because it's kind of guys and girls.
Joy to share.
It's just nice to share this sort of vibe. The fact that we're all of us on this journey together.
Yes.
Whatever the hell we're doing, I don't know.
Speaking of sharing this journey, we want to thank Gary G for sharing with us this month on the Discord. It's bit.ly/BOOdiscord to join us over there. Free chat about gear and things. If you cut to my screen for a moment.
Sure, sorry, hold on.
Very briefly, I just wanted to show you the Discord.
I've got a problem with my video.
Oh, okay. So there's the Discord. We talk about general things, BOOcast. Share your own music, share events, and the remixes. We'll be listening to them in there. But yeah, Gary G mentioned this brilliant website called 10,000 Drum Machines. 10,000 drum machines. They're not up to 10,000 yet, but there are all of these free drum machines that basically run in your browser, and they're loads of fun. They all operate on different strange principles.
I'm really sorry, but it's gone.
That's okay. Well, I'll click on a few of them to show you.
We won't be able to hear them, though.
You won't be able to hear them, but I recommend browsing them. There's some that are pure silliness, like the Knight's Tour drum sequencer, which is based on the moves of a knight on a chessboard.
Yeah, that sounds particularly ridiculous.
Adjust them accordingly. What else did I think was quite funny? So many drums I think sounded quite good. Oh, this is great fun because once you start it, again, you're not going to hear my sound. You can kind of scroll through them and make lots of glitchy... There's scrolling through a library of like 3,000 sounds or something in each of these kits, and you can scroll quickly through the quick kits and make different sounds. It's great. Anyway, loads of fun in all of those. And that's kind of one of the things we were going to use to make background music for the art exhibition, because it was great. I really like this Polygon one as well, because you can do it.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I made you made this video of this, and I've got it, but it just disappeared somewhere. I have no idea where it is.
Is it on the T drive?
It's not.
Oh well, maybe it didn't copy properly. Oh. Well, you can right-click on these to change the sound, and basically moving them around, you can see that ball running around changes the timing of everything, which is great. So lots of fun. If you're stuck, then I recommend checking out some of these and just playing with them. Some of them are a bit silly, like what's that? Boots and Cats drum machine.
Yeah.
You drag some boots and some cats. More cats.
What on earth does that sound like?
It sounds terrible, as you can imagine.
Have you got the link in the thing? I'm really sorry about not having the video for you. I have no idea where it is.
Well, we can always post that for the boosters, or just share it in our Discord.
Yes.
So,
yes, we'll do that.
yeah.
We'll share it in the Discord when I find it. I have no idea where it's dropped off to. But that was great. Thank you, Gary Goldfinch. Before it felt sort of apropos of the systems creation of patterns and the controlling a machine to do.
And random inputs and working together with machines.
Yeah,
drum machines.
Yeah.
So I was going to give you a quick sort of update on album activity. Now, things are kind of starting very tentatively. Obviously, life is still hectic and we're operating around that, as everybody does. But we finally put together a list of demos that we like and started listening to them. And then we finally had a day when we weren't working or sick to work on the music, which was exciting. And so Chris was setting up in the studio and making sounds. Actually, I'm not really sure what you were doing that day because I was doing other things.
I had a whole day of making a whole load of stuff that was terrible.
Yes, well, so did I. I was in the other room listening to the demos, writing lyrics, or trying to write lyrics, and it was one of those days when it was like getting blood from a stone, and I was looking through all my old notebooks and poems and things and trying to shoehorn stuff in, and I was like, this just isn't working. So at about 4 in the afternoon, I was like, Chris, I need a nap, I need to stop, I need to reboot because today is not going well. And you were like, but I'm just doing something, you should come in. And I was like, no, I need a nap.
Oops.
I went and had a nap.
Sorry. And
I woke up and you were like, do you want to listen to the thing I did? And Chris had made this awesome thing.
I don't know. I thought it was awesome at the time. But
well, he made a sort of demo, and then I was like, oh, okay, I know. I can hear a chorus. After the first playthrough, I was like, I can hear it should go all majory. And I used my, I'm not.
And I went,
I don't know
like
the
this?
language. Yeah, basically.
Went, yeah, like that.
He rushed to the trigon.
It was like one of those
rushed to the piano.
It was like one of those movies of when people are writing the, hey, that's it.
Yeah. But we both rushed to the instruments, and I was like, and then you were like this, and I was like, yeah, that's it. And it's a big, bright, major third sort of thing rising up. And then Chris worked on it for a bit, tweaking the sounds, recording bits, and demoed half of a chorus line, and then I could hear another half. And eventually, the whole time he was making stuff, I was writing.
Everyone's going to want to hear it now.
Well, they're going to hear it eventually. So I'm not at the end yet.
I was saying we should play it on the show.
No, not yet.
There you go. You
didn't say that.
I did. I said let's play it live.
Oh yeah, you said let's play it live. No, it's not ready yet. Anyway, I recorded words for the whole song, and we were like, wow, we didn't have a song this morning, and now we have a song.
It's a lovely feeling when that happens. Like we had nothing, now we have something.
Yeah.
Joy, abundance, wealth, health. The world feels great.
It just goes to show you, like, it really is just about showing up. And sometimes you show up and you're just wading through the mud and it's awful. But sometimes it's great.
Keep it light, darling.
Well, some of the words that I wrote, particularly the chorus, were connected to the frustrating earlier work. Because I actually added a rephrased fragment of a poem that I'd written years ago. And I was just like, that fits. And so even when it feels like you're not progressing with things creatively, it's all percolating in there and it's all contributing to something that is growing and is going to be born.
I really need a wee.
Oh no! Oh, all right. Well, I've finished that. That's all I had to say. So that's lucky.
Sorry for sharing that with you. I suddenly realised, why am I? Oh, I need to go.
Why are you bouncing in your seat?
But that's brilliant. So we've been recording stuff. We've been
recording.
We may have 2 songs.
But now we're in the phase where we're like, oh no, it's not as good as we thought. Start again.
Well, I'm in that phase. It felt nice to have something that was like, I felt like exploring the world of like very stripped down, very minimal. And so every note is perfect and every sound is really good, but you don't need anything more. And I thought we had it. Now listen to it again. I went, nah, it's not quite there, is it?
It just needs work, but it's going to be really good.
But we're all our most harsh critics.
This is how we make good things.
In theory, that's how we make.
Speaking of making good things.
Good things. Okay, so it's time for Synth of the Month. Close your eyes if you're in any way allergic to the colour orange. Hello. The BOOcast Synth of the Month is the Analogue Solutions Fusebox Mark 1. Synthesizer people, I have a question for you. Are you afraid of Eurorack? Well, keep it up. It's that kind of amygdala-swelling terror that will save you from having to sell your organs for food in the coming decades. Tom Carpenter's long-running British synth company, Analogue Solutions, were at the start of Eurorack, being one of the first 3 companies to produce modules in that life-consuming format. But why spend your time and money assembling modules to build your dream synth when you can let Tom Carpenter build it for you? In 2018, Analogue Solutions released the Fusebox, a bright orange, semi-modular, brazenly analog desktop synth. It's fizzing with electrons, masses of modulation possibilities, has a glorious, and I mean glorious, filter, and its sheer power feels like it's all set to blow the lights. Let's put on our protective live powerline clothing and plug this thing in. So here is Tom Carpenter's Fusebox, and it's bright orange, it's beautiful. Tom actually told me once that it was originally intended to have fuses that plugged into it, different modules that plugged in, but he went, no, that's actually a silly idea. Let's make it semi-modular. It is semi-modular, and it's got lots and lots of patch points, as you can see. At heart, it's a 3 oscillator, 1, 2, 3 oscillator analog monosynth, but with all this flexibility of tuning and modulation and what have you, it's a little bit more, perhaps, than the sum of its parts. So let's have a little peek at this patch that I made for the beginning. So, first of all, we've got a sequence coming in from the Arturia key step, which is doing this. I'll just turn all of these off for the moment. Turn all of these off. So, oscillator 1 has a choice of pulse and saw, which is chosen by this little rocker switch here. In the middle is mute, on the top is pulse, on the bottom is saw. There's a mixer alongside here, so we can bring it up. We'll just, to get sound, we'll switch the EG1 and EG2 to MIDI input. So we can play this. Oscillator 1 only has narrow tuning. We can go from normal tuning here. And it's very slight, sort of basically get it into perfect pitch. We also have pitch input, which we can patch in. There's nothing in there, so let's grab a patch lead and let's take the LFO out and put it into the pitch input. So we can attenuate the amount of modulation inside the oscillator. This is the same for all of them. They all have this pitch input. Then we have a pulse width selector, which we can manually select the width of our pulse. And we can also use pulse width modulation. We can take an external input, but down here in the LFO, pulse width modulation is hardwired inside, and we can control it from this knob here. So you might think that if we plug in another modulation source in here, it would disconnect this. Let's see if it does. So I'm going to grab the output from VCO3 and plug it into the pulse width. And it actually sums them together. So we've got, if I turn the pulse width modulation off down here, now we've got the pulse output coming from. That doesn't go quite square, does it? Oh, maybe it does now. So we can control that, but then we can add the LFO. on top. Which is interesting. So a lot of these cases where you've got hardwired internal modulation going on, when you add more modulation in, it gets added to it. So we've got sort of a multiplication of modulation stuff happening, which is quite nice. So that's LFO1. We've got an octave switch. And we've also got cross mod from VCO2. Which has no actual level control. You can just turn it on or off. But obviously there's the pitch in. We could use one of the waveforms out from VCO2 and have more subtle control over the cross mod by using the pitch in. But there it is. Marvellous. So yeah, VCO2 is a little bit different. So we've got a wide tuning knob here. Let's just turn off VCO1, turn up the volume. So again, okay, so we've got pulse and sawtooth available on this little rocker switch. Let's stick with pulse. We've got a volume knob in the mixer. We've got the same sort of tuning as VCO1, or we can go to wide tuning, which brings us into this region where we can go whoa, way beyond what's reasonable, all the way down to LFO territory. So that is useful. So VCO1's got sort of narrow range with an octave switch. VCO2 goes very, very wide. You can see it's called VCO/VCLFO, as is VCO3. We've got an option of 3 true oscillators, 2 true oscillators and an LFO, because this can be disconnected from MIDI and from the keyboards, or 2 LFOs and 1 oscillator. I mean, you know, you can mix and match any way you like. Once again, so we've got pulse width modulation there. Whoops, sorry, pulse width modulation here, which is the same as for VCO1. And VCO3 is different again. So VCO3, first of all, let's unplug these, turn that off. VCO3 has no direct switch to put sound in. So VCO1 and 2, you get this little rocker switch choosing between pulse and sawtooth. But VCO3, we have no such rocker switch, but we do have these 3 patch points. So we can send whichever waveform we want into the mixer, which is here. So let's just do that. So that's the triangle. Apologise to Tom, I really must clean these knobs. So as you can hear, it has a pleasing, gritty sort of sound. And again, it goes very low. It can be used as an LFO. If you do use it as an LFO, you can disconnect it from MIDI pitch, which means as you play up and down the keyboard, it won't follow you. But that does negate the fact that the sub-oscillator is connected to VCO3. So let's reconnect it to MIDI pitch. So in wide tuning mode, it's actually quite tricky to get these in tune. And that is quite a bit of its charm, actually. You can feel the electrons flying through this thing. In some cases, it sounds dangerous, shall we say. Turn off the pulse width there. Okay, let's turn on the sub oscillator. So we don't have a level control on the sub. We have mute in the middle of this rocker switch, low and high. Let's see what low does. Pleasing. Let's see what high does. Wow, that's pretty huge. Let's go. Just turn on sync. Cross mod on that whole time. Whoops. So as you can hear, it's got a lovely, beefy, chewy, analog, true analog sound. And it feels fizzy, deep, chewy. I've used chewy twice now, oh dear. So yeah, as I said, so the tuning's tricky when it's on wide, but if we just go to narrow on them all. It's very easy to get those, you know, Fat 3 oscillator sounds. So this is an interesting part of the Fusebox. So we've got this wide tuning going on here. I've sort of tamed them by making them narrow tuning. We've also got this master tune knob here, which is fun in itself. But once we've got these 3 tunings in here, it's often... Well, that's perfect. So we've got these 3 tunings in here. We've also got the... It's almost like it's something we can play with, like an old oscillator pitch dial. Such a big knob as well. It's inviting us to play with it. Apologies. Furthermore, we have this thing here called the interval generator. So it's this a bit of a different sort of synth of the month. I'm kind of scampering over it at random today because I have already done a video for Sonic State for this, which was very in-depth, and a 5 minutes with, I think, for Sonic State, which was pretty in-depth. So this is a bit more sort of a random, having fun sort of thing. Anyway, so we've got the tunings on the oscillators. We've got the tuning here. We've got the interval generator, which is another set of tunings which you can predetermine. So if we set a sequence up, we can then set up an interval. So you can click between bits of the song as you play, which is really great. You can also disconnect VCO3 from that. So we've got all of this different tuning stuff going on into the VCOs. It's controlled from here, it's controlled from here, and it's controlled from here. And that's a pretty complex thing to be doing. So it's really brilliant that it works at all, really, because it's just so... There's just so much going on. Let's make a nice chord. So we're talking about tuning. Let's make a chord, shall we? So that's on wide, that's off. Start with VCO 1. Well, that seems to be a 5th. So there you go. I made a mistake there because that was switched to just tuning VCO 1 and 2, and I couldn't get them in tune. Now I can. Bring in the sub. Nice. Let's have the saw out. Let's use 2 saws, and let's go for a saw again on number 2, and let's tune it. Delicious. Really nice. So the filter. Analogue Solutions have created a multi-mode VCF, which is a little bit like a SEM filter in that it's sweepable from low pass through notch into high pass. We have big cutoff knob and a big resonance knob. We can also switch it into band pass mode, and we've got various modulation inputs, not just the envelope. The envelope one is hardwired in via this knob here. We can also go negative on it, which is nice. We can put the attack in. Delicious. I'll stop saying delicious in a minute. This is a really nice filter. It's very reminiscent of the SEM. I'm just going to bring it right round to notch. Somewhere between notch and high pass. And I will just bring up the resonance. Listen to those harmonics. Oh, it's so lovely. And you can hear that sort of phasing. Let's see if it's happening here. It sounds like phasing, doesn't it? It's, yeah, really special. Oh. Yeah, so it was Simon Forsyth that first let me play with his Oberheim 2 voice, and I just remember standing there with this knob on the SEM on the 2 voice and the cutoff and resonance, and just basically going, "Oh my God, listen to that!" It's very, very special. There's something I described it as a million tiny bells. Let's just have one saw going through that, actually. Make it simpler. Bring that down. Even with just one saw, if I go as low as I can. I mean, that's lovely, isn't it? I'm sorry, I'm getting a bit lost here. Let's turn the release down. So yeah, the filter's pretty cool. We've got bandpass mode as well, which is also useful. Gives you the similar sort of vibe. And obviously we've got low pass. And we can do that classic sort of... Yeah, that's sort of XOX type thing. So inside this filter, just as we have all that extra modulation capability with the oscillators, we've got lots of modulation capability with the filter as well. Not only can we modulate it with envelope 1, we can also take external CV and modulate it from something outside. We can, we've got 2 external CV inputs here, so I'm just going to just grab that one. So we can modulate that with one of the oscillators. So then we've got that talking filter effect from the pitch of VCO2 going into the cutoff modulation of the filter. Do it nice and slow. And it's great because we've got these attenuators and attenuverters, sometimes on the source, sometimes on the destination. Here it's in the destination, so we can adjust how much is going in, which is very useful. Because often if you're grabbing something from externally and just plugging it in, you just get straight to full. But many times the sweet spot is somewhere else. There's so much going on here, it's actually quite difficult to keep track of where I've been. So we've got two envelopes. They are ADRS envelopes. The decay is the release portion as well. We've also got extra outputs from the envelope signal. We've got an LFO. Okay, let's look at the patinator. So the patinator is a 4-step CV sequencer. These are the knobs that control the CV. They're completely unquantized, and they do what they do, combined with an 8-step gate sequencer. I know that sounds confusing. I'm confused even just saying it. So the best thing to do is just do it, right? So I'm just going to sync, for the sake of demonstration purposes, I'm going to sync the patinator to the LFO. There we go. So now it's running. And now I'm going to switch the envelopes into the patinator. There's our crazy sound. Maybe that's a bit much. So we can control the pitch, global pitch of the Fusebox. Here's another pitch control, by the way. We've got this, these, and this. So that's a lot of pitch control. Let's go. So you can control the amount from this knob. And this works with everything. It's even working with the VCO2, which we're using to modulate. So we can change the pitch of each step with these knobs. Stop it for a second. So as you can hear, it's doing a sort of rhythmic thing there. I'll just turn these beat knobs up full to show you what's going on with the gate sequencer. So we'll stick it back into LFO. Let's pitch it up a bit. So as you can see, it's going straight through these 4 steps, these 4 CV steps. But we have an 8-step gate sequencer, which is controlled from here. So as we turn the first knob backwards, it gradually removes odd steps, I think, or is it even steps? And similarly with the second knob, as we rotate this one, it gradually removes even steps or odd steps, whichever the first one isn't. So let's just speed up a bit. So as you can hear, we've got a little rhythm going on here, and just by playing with these knobs, you can gradually get yourself an 8-step gate sequence going over your 4-step CV sequence, which makes it a little bit more than you'd think from a 4-step sequencer. So we've got both the envelopes being triggered by the gate coming from here. We can also control cutoff. There's a cutoff knob here, taken from these 4 steps here. We can also transpose it by MIDI input on the keyboard. We can also do it, hold on, turn them on, do it from the interval generator. So that's all without MIDI input. We can make a sequence. It's also got an arpeggiator, which can run at the same time as the patinator, at the same time as you're inputting an external sequence, which is pretty crazy. Also, we can switch from, so envelope 2 is by default hardwired to the VCA. Envelope 1 is by default hardwired via this knob to the filter. But we can have one running off the patinator and the other one running off the MIDI input. So if I just put a sequence in here. So they're both taking their input from MIDI at the moment, but if we go to... So that didn't work. The reason that didn't work is because the patinator needs to take its sync from somewhere. Let's go. It's coming from the LFO now. That's not... It's interesting. Another great thing about just above the interval generator is that we've got the MIDI CV behavior going on here. So we can take the MIDI clock and give it to the patinator and hit start. So you hear the VCA is being triggered by MIDI notes, which are basically just 16ths, but the patinator is controlling when the envelope gets opened. And we can just change around. Yeah, so we can get quite a lot of variety going on here. We've also got LFO re-trigger, which I'll turn on, which often can be useful. So if we're just inputting notes here, we switch this to LFO. And I'm just inputting individual notes, and the Fusebox is making this sequence happen. And the re-trigger is happening. Oh, we turn it off. There we go. That's my MIDI note going in. But let's take the patinator to trigger the envelope. Let's take the envelope out and put it into pitch control of 1. There we go. Let's take the envelope out and get it to 2, put it into sync. So we got a nice sync noise there. There's a little sequence to end with. We've got the envelope coming out, controlling a pitch of VCO2, which is giving us some sync. We've also got envelope 1 controlling the cutoff of the filter in that rather delicious notch mode. So we've got sync and the filter doing its thing at the same time. How about I just hit play? Oh, yes. I've also got this coming from the Korg SQ1, which has got a little sequence in it, which I'm going to plug into cutoff modulation in a bit. But for now, that's goodbye to the Analogue Solutions Fusebox. I hope you enjoyed it. It's by no means a comprehensive tour of this astonishing orange box, but I hope it gives you a flavour of how electrical it feels. Here's the tune. Come on. Stop.
Don't stop. Such a sweet, sweet
It
filter.
went on for so long. Went on for so long.
It's a lot of synth.
It's a lot of synth. It's lovely. And yeah, Tom Carpenter's a beautiful man. And I take it. So Simon, I want to say this publicly now. I want to do it properly right now. I want to thank you. So Jane and Martin introduced us to you. We instantly realised that we were brothers in beer. I think it was beer.
Brothers in the
and brothers in
brothers in
synthesizer
SEM,
behaviour.
because we were all playing with the SEM that day.
Well, no, that wasn't the first time we met
The
Simon.
barbecue.
Was that the first
That
time?
was the first time. yeah.
Literally. Okay, so Simon, I want to say thank you because the very first time we met you, thank you. Yeah, I forgot. That was when I very first interacted with that state variable filter of the SEM and your beautiful two voice, which now has a new home.
Good. I'm glad someone's using it. Anyway, get to the thanks.
Oh, wait, get to the thanks. Get to the point, Blackburn. I want to thank you because, Synthesia. Did I pronounce it right?
Synthesia.
Simon put on a show called Synthesia, which was in Hastings. And not only did we have our first introduction to Nick Batt and Charles
Reeves.
Chicky Reeves and Tom Carpenter, but it was also the launch event.
The world launch.
The world launch of the Fusebox.
Yes.
And I totally forgot that was actually the launch of the Fusebox. So, Simon, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Very special day you did there.
Thank you for my life. I mean, large chunks of it. I mean, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, there was a bit of a discussion. Peter Coit has got the Fusebox X. He has yet to explore it, but loves that filter, especially the bandpass, but wishes that the resonance would self-oscillate.
Testing.
And
You're so much quieter than
Simon
me.
pointed out that it's all right.
It's bothering me.
Simon pointed out that most 12 dB filters don't self-oscillate, but Tom made a Eurorack version of this filter, which did have resonance boost, and the only state variable filter he's known ever that self-oscillates. It was the Telemark filter module, and it was a 12 dB octave multi-mode type filter.
Amazing.
Very, very cool. Not something Analogue Solutions sell anymore, but you can find them secondhand if you're interested in such a module. Yes. So thank you. I love it. I love that filter. I love the sound of it.
So we could have a poll. What are your favourite filters? So of course the what's the Russian one? Okay.
Simon says, that's synth barbecue, meat and synths. What a combo. This is why Superbooth's so good as well. So sausage,
glorious.
beer and synths.
And kudos for having a barbecue on the first floor on a balcony somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean that takes dare I say it?
Yeah, Prometheus says I miss
Testes.
Chicky. He's not long on the Sonic State shows anymore. Yeah, I think he's got a pretty demanding live schedule.
Yeah, Chicky's
But I miss
busy.
him too. He's a
very, very
lovely
busy.
dude.
I have no idea why I'm so much
Wagyu
louder
says
than
I
you.
sound fine, so don't worry about it.
Really?
Yeah. And always when we listen back, it's fine.
But I've got... Okay, let me put the other ear in.
Try not to let the tech overwhelm you today.
Which side am I on? Okay.
It's okay, isn't
My
it?
headphones are mono. That's shit.
It's all right.
Anyway, thanks for the tech support, everybody.
Also in the chat, Andrew Brooks was just giving a shout out to Jim Glue, who's in the chat. Hello, Jim. for How Good the Staircase Mind is his last CD. But
Yes.
not his last CD.
Not his last
Jim
CD.
has released a new album in February this year called Peace in My Dreams. So go check that out. I would say buy it on Bandcamp Friday, but there's not going to be another Bandcamp Friday till August for some reason. They're starting to make them a bit more patchy. I don't know if this is a way they're sort of phasing them out. I certainly hope not. So yeah, I punched buy on a whole cartload of stuff last week, and we'll make a playlist out of it. So I'll have to add Peace in My Dreams and buy that as well. If you have recommendations for music, or if you're releasing stuff, then share it on our Discord.
It is a bit of a pain in the ring piece that Bandcamp are not doing Bandcamp Friday anymore. And hello, were they bought by ByteDance?
They were bought by
No, not ByteDance.
Epic Games, the people who make themes. Anyway,
Were they bought by ByteDance at one stage? Oh, sorry,
we're still looking at a screen.
are we bought by ByteDance at some stage? Have I lost my mind?
No, it's the people who made Fortnite, Epic Games, bought Bandcamp.
Okay. So welcome everybody to the free market economy world, where you literally don't know. You've signed up for something, and then almost instantly it's something else.
Well, yeah. I mean, I just hope.
Yeah.
I hope it stays true to its roots.
Let's give them some Foley. Yeah.
Clip these and use them later. For general enthusiasm.
Okay, what have you got there?
I was just saying, go to the Discord, bit.ly/BOOdiscord, and share your music. Just punch it into listen to this. And, we can... Bandcamp links are great, because then people can buy it and keep it and listen to it forever.
Damn right. And also, if I did mention it earlier, I am... Oh, do you want to do that?
No.
I'm going to clear... If
you did mention it.
Those of you who are boosters, thank you very much for your continued support.
We should talk about the boosters.
We're going to talk about the boosters in a second.
Okay.
We really are. We're going to do a very big shoulder rub and thank you properly. Like, we're going to give you all a little neck rub. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm going to put all of Compulsory Games into the stems, rather, into the
shared folder on Google Drive.
The shared folder on Google Drive, and we're going to release something.
Yes.
Maybe not in time for the birthday,
which is next month.
3 bloody years we've been doing this. You'd think we'd be better at it. Yeah, cut.
Oh, yes. Well, yeah, speaking of Bandcamp, that was caught me by surprise. Suddenly cut. All right, yes, we have a Bandcamp, and the boosters we keep referring to are those who subscribe to us, and they support us with a monthly donation of minimum $3, I think it is, and they get all sorts of stuff in return: stems, exclusive demos, unreleased EPs, free downloads, other
Come on, guys, $3 is nothing.
Look at all these releases.
Look at it.
There's a ton of music there.
Plus, you get access to the stems that I am about to give you. And if you subscribe now, you'll also get the stems which I'm about to delete.
Yes, if you subscribe before he deletes those stems. So that's what to do.
Do it now.
And you'll get all the stems.
And that's not all.
That's instead of steak knives. No.
And that's not all. Yeah. That's all.
No, that isn't all, actually.
No, it's not all.
After 6 months of support... No, don't cut away.
Well, don't cut away.
After 6 months of supporting us as a booster, you will be awarded the coveted BOOpeter badge, which I keep forgetting to wear. It's on my jacket. I wear it out.
Crikey.
And it's quite a conversation starter, because it looks very similar to the BOOpeter badge, as you will see now, as we honour...
And as they get closer and they say,
holders.
"Oh, Janet Ellis, wasn't she great?" And I go, "Yes." And then I go, "Honestly, could you do a Janet Ellis impersonation now?"
I forget which is which. Is she the one with the high cheekbones?
You've got very similar hair at the moment to when she was on Jigsaw.
I don't have any safety scissors. I can't.
Perhaps you could say something about being very sad about the BOOpeter garden being broken.
Oh, no, that is sad.
And do a sad face.
It's really sad what happened, and we hope those vandals are properly punished by the full measure of
She would never have said that.
Well, I want... I think I'm saying what everybody wants.
Well, that is what we want. But, the idea of justice in a world like we live in.
let's honour the badge holders, darling.
I'm just thinking about the world.
Yeah, no, we're in a good place now. Let's not think about the world.
I'm not in a good place anymore. You said the world.
You reminded me about what they did to the Blue Pizza Garden.
The Boo Pizza Garden.
I said the Boo Pizza Garden.
She said it. Here we go.
Okay.
Actually.
What?
There we go.
Okay, good. So this is the Boo Pizza badge, which you will receive after 6 months of supporting the Battery Operated Orchestra. It's wonderful. It helps us continue to do what we do.
Was that meant to sound like a robot voice?
Stop! We've got to read the names.
Okay.
When it's been 6 months, you get read out on the show. So
Andrew Kubachevsky, and I'm so sorry we missed you. I
Stefan
literally
Last,
was coughing up
thank you.
my kidneys.
Steve Turnbull,
Ian J. Cole, James Newcomb, Craig Williams, Paul Moshline, Adam Embry, Warren Harrison, Sean Parsons, Jeff Terranova, Jeff Potter, Andrew Van, Ian Heath. God, I'm
Paul
tired.
Harkness, Jörg Scheffner, Tom Grimshaw, Pascal Aubry, Technomatic, David Heel, Andrew Walford,
Nick Haig, Gary Goldfinch, Eric Francie, Andrew Mayo, Rob Sloan, Wagyu. Welcome back, by the way. And that was
Ian
our fault.
Pass, Simon Goodwin, Neil Wharton, Andrew Loveland, Jerome Gorman, Michael Carker, No Labels Please, Andy Vonal, Andy McCreath, Adrian Wright,
Reynolds Van Grunen, Rich Cool, Evan D.B. Gray, Sean Parsons, Julian Edge, Zach Lure, Christopher Miller, Izzy Monkey, Phil Dunbar, Tony Plex, Stephen Webb, Christopher Mitchell,
Peter Della,
Good
Jeffrey
afternoon.
Collins, Gary and Paula. Thank you for
and
your 6 months.
joining us this month, Peter Coit. Welcome aboard, and Dots. Both of
Nikki
you.
and Les, lovely
Nikki and
band.
Les, welcome aboard. So,
Thank you, guys. We should really have us in the corner of that shot because you can see us slowly getting redder as we run out of air. I'm trying to say all the names.
I was already quite red,
Oh, yeah.
to be fair. But that's wonderful. Thank you so much for supporting us.
You make us able to keep doing this, so thank you. And here we are, 3 years. 3 years later. I can't believe it.
3 years. Do you know what? 3 years.
3 years.
Three. 3 years.
We've done that before.
Have we?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
We've seen Grosse Point Blank too many times.
It's a great film. What can I say?
Film.
So,
What?
what was I going to say? I was going to say something along the lines of, thank you. Definitely. I was going to say thank you.
Good.
And
I think we just said that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
We
sure.
said a big thing.
Sure, yeah, we did.
If you like, I can talk about something else while you try to remember.
Are you going to talk about him? The
Yeah.
wrongly accused murderer.
Shh. Spoiler alert.
I'll put the music on behind you if you like.
Well, just cut to my screen so people aren't just sitting here listening to dead air while you try to remember.
There's the synths in the corner.
Okay, that's
I've
lovely.
just been doing that, and I'll cut to what do I cut to?
My screen, but you can keep me in the corner. So I forgot to mention last month, we have a Substack now, and we've written a few articles.
Let me know if the music's bothering you.
Well, you can't look at the chat because the iPad died.
Okay.
So
It's true. It did.
psychically connect with him and tell him. Yes, so we launched a Substack to give you some long form reading content stuff because one thing about Bandcamp for the boosters is there is a character limit on the posts, and sometimes we have long thoughts. And here are some long thoughts. One of them about leaving social media, which we had to do during the promotion for the album release 2 years ago now, is it? Yes, because we did gigging for a year. And that is all related to the creation of the song Always On. And it talks about Instagram face, John Calhoun's experiments on mice, all sorts of strange things and the damaging effects of social media. Anyway, the latest post, which just came out, is about the making of Clown, which is quite an old track for us.
Oh yeah.
From 2012, I believe, but we put it on an EP that nobody really heard because we were very small then, indeed.
Do you know what?
Then we put it on our first album.
We literally released it so quickly because I was a bit terrified that the plane was going to crash. We went to Australia literally just after we released it. And then in Australia we also
recorded a demo of
recorded it
ourselves.
in a
I should share that demo with you boosters.
turn this music off.
I am gonna.
Should I stop it?
I Stop asking questions. Presenting something. Make a decision.
It's called interactive feedback.
But,
It's
we
called
can't look at the
engagement.
chat right now.
Oh no, I can't see the chat.
So,
Are you engaging with? Are we on our own? Are we literally on our own? God, are we on our own?
I've opened the chat. Nobody has mentioned the music. I think they're quite happy.
Okay.
So, anyway, Clown.
Okay.
I will share the video of us. We recorded a demo of it on 2 Volcas in a living room. In
That's
fact,
nice.
yeah, we're going to share a bit of that to TikTok soon. But anyway, there's
Yeah.
a guy in the video for Clown. You can cut to my screen again.
Okay.
When this man appears,
Brian Travers.
Brian Travers!
Oh, Brian.
We just get really excited.
Brian, we love you.
And then one day we had a lovely evening watching it, and I was like, I have to know who Brian Travers is. He looks like such a lovely person.
Look, just ask. It was a totally random selection, wasn't it?
What do you mean?
When there were so many faces.
Oh, the newsreaders I chose. Yes, I literally just troweled the
No,
internet.
but, I mean,
Trolled the internet.
I think. Okay, that might have been we worked on that video together. So I'm going to turn the music off. Sorry. We worked on that video together, and I did part of it, and you did the other part. I did most of the VHS messed up stuff. Anything that's mangled by VHS interference is me, and all the other stuff is you. And I think that might be you. And so we cut all this stuff together.
Yeah.
But how strange is it that Bridget was immediately surprised, enamored of, and interested in this face? Just Brian Travers. Why?
Because he looks so... Well, as I write in the article, his guileless smile radiated an honest friendliness which lacked the slick practice of the other newsreaders.
But how amazing that you chose the one newsreader. Almost certainly. Mind you, we should go, maybe...
So this thing that I should say is I did Google him. And the first thing that came up was that he had been accused of murder.
Wrongly.
Don't say that.
Oh, sorry.
Spoiler.
Sorry.
Jesus. I didn't know wrongly until quite recently.
I don't know.
There's been a cold case.
But maybe you should
stop.
Wait,
talking.
maybe you should be working for the police, because if you can spot
a guy that isn't a murderer.
I mean, that's useful, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll shut up.
You can't just go on hunches, though.
I will be quiet.
And you can be wrong, but I was very happy to be proven right.
I've seen Medium. Medium's great.
Well,
and that really happens.
So anyway, read the article. It's there on Substack, and it's like a 10-minute read, and it's a very interesting story. And it also talks about making Clown. Yes.
Sorry, darling. Did I ruin your bit?
Oh my God, it's so hard.
Did I ruin your segment?
You kept talking.
I'm just amazed that you saw that and went,
well, you
I
did
need
too.
to know more.
You did too. You like Brian.
It's true. We both love Brian.
We're like, there's Brian. We actually also like, there's a sad newsreader in it.
Oh God, he's amazing.
He puts his head down.
He's so sad.
And then when it says, you could have been someone for me, there are all these suspicious looking men being judged at a desk, kind of looking shifty. Well, you're going to see them now because we're going to play you the video.
We'll play you
for
the video
Clown.
in a second. I just want to say something, because I don't know if you all know, not Chris Morris, but the documentary filmmaker, Adam Curtis.
Oh,
thank you.
yes.
So I mean, they're all of a piece in my mind. So Adam Curtis is he is a great documentary filmmaker. I think he may have become a pastiche of himself. I intend fully to make a video. This is
You've
a film.
seen the bingo cards, right?
There's Adam Curtis bingo
Yeah.
cards. Fantastic.
Preston shared it with me. One
Tell
of them's
me.
like, this is a story. And you have to check that off.
This is a story about a documentary filmmaker who lost his way.
Well, they're brilliant documentaries, though. Very, very good.
Well,
and he's been doing it a long time, so he's allowed to
but
keep doing the same thing.
But the thing that Adam Curtis does is he uses archival footage. And I know for a fact what he did. When I was at Visual and Performing Arts, and we had an AV department, and that was the old days when it was the old Sony U-matic tapes. And we used to get second-hand tapes, because obviously the college didn't have much money. We got them from newsrooms. Okay, so you've got a tape that everyone's supposed to blank first, and then you'll use it in your edit. But in these tapes, you see all of the news footage, like the bits that were left out, and including a lot of the bits that Adam Curtis clearly has found. So he must have found those too. So the bits where the people are sitting in their seats and looking a bit weird, and all the strange camera angles and all that stuff that's going on. Brilliant
Behind
stuff.
the scenes, the news
stuff. Weirdly, stuff that I'd already seen in the early 90s, and just for myself, and just gone, this is really interesting.
This is dynamite.
And then Adam Curtis came in with, and he's brilliant. I don't know if he's still doing stuff. I really enjoyed, all of his stuff actually. It's great.
Or Watched Over by Machines of Loving Grace is one of his, isn't it?
Pretty good one. And the one before that, whatever the hell that's called.
The set. The Paul Moll.
The one with He Hit Me and It Felt Like a Kiss.
The set. Something set.
Mm.
Anyway,
Can't
go through
remember.
them all. They're all great.
Anyway, so I just thought I'd mention that because Brian Travers, what we did there, are we going back? Are you looking at the comments?
Continue talking. I'm just looking at
Has
the chat.
everyone gone?
No, still here.
Anyway, Adam Curtis was massive influence, really. I very much still love A is for Atom, and the final episode of that about. There's a beautiful quote. That's the word. There's a beautiful quote by Sergei Legasov. Now, if any of you saw Chernobyl, the TV series back in 2019 or 2020, whenever it was, God, that seems so long ago now. So the quote isn't in the documentary, but Valery Legasov, who was the chief engineer of the Soviet nuclear program, after the Chernobyl accident happened, global disaster, let's call it what it was, he recorded many tapes and cassettes, recording his history and his memories of what happened. But one of his quotations came out. This was actually from an episode of Horizon, where they basically followed
That's a really good documentary.
The
sarcophagus,
the scientists that were going into the sarcophagus and making sure everything was safe. In that documentary, they said that Legasov, in one of his tapes, said, "I have come to the paradoxical conclusion that technology must be protected from man." And there's a lot of context around that, which I have missed out. But as a sentence, I'd like to leave you with that this evening. Because having been to the Tate Modern and going to see the Electric Dreams exhibition and seeing everywhere that technology could potentially take us, and we all use electronic instruments. I'm guessing we do. We've probably got some guitars in the house. I'm looking at 2 guitars right now, so that's okay. One of them's electric, makes it an electronic instrument. But we have a philosophical connection with technology because of what we do, and I think it's important to keep control of that, to stay the master of what you're doing rather than become the slave of someone else who claims to know more about it than you do.
Well said.
I should say at this point, I've had a martini.
Yes, you have. But
I'm standing by everything I say.
I completely agree. I think that's a good thing to end on.
Technology must be protected from man.
Oh, I have to share. Kev Oyston's in the chat and says hello.
Kev!
How
are you, man?
Long time.
I'm so glad you're here to witness me having a breakdown.
Wagyu says the episode of Horizon could be inside Chernobyl's sarcophagus.
That's
or
the one.
The fallout from Chernobyl is the former. Yes,
it's
from
the former.
1996.
Astonishingly good.
Very good documentary.
Amazing.
All on YouTube, I
and
think.
Such bravery and such courage.
Woody's Piano Shack was asking if you'd ever reviewed the Behringer Model D, but
I haven't. But I'd be happy to. And do you know what?
Moog.
I could quite happily do a
side by
side. Have you got a Model D?
If anyone has one.
Woody, where do you live? Would you like to come and visit us? It'd be nice to see you in the flesh.
Have a little Model D party.
Yeah, let's have a Model D. A what?
Darty. Sorry, I didn't need to say that again. It was terrible.
We'll call it a double D, shall we?
A double D. Now that sounds like fun.
Yeah. That's a show I can get behind. Literally.
All right, now we can end on a joke. We've done our serious bit and we can end on a joke.
Are we ending on a joke?
Yeah.
What's the joke?
We just had it. The double D.
Oh, yeah. So what is that? Is it the end of the show?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And it's time to enjoy our video from 2012-ish of Clown, made out of loads of found footage of newscasters from the past, starring Brian Travers.
Wrongly accused of murder.
Still spoiling it. But yes.
How am I spoiling it?
Because nobody knew whether he'd done it or not. And basically, while I wrote this article, it was my hot take that I don't think he did it. And then I found out he hadn't done it.
No, wait a minute. So you didn't think he'd done it. First
No.
of all, let's get this right. Bridget saw his face and went, well, actually, I did as well.
Yeah, we both went,
who's that guy? We were attracted. And then, not only that, you found out that he'd been accused of murder.
Yeah.
And you went, he didn't do it.
I read the whole story. There was a really good report by the Chattanooga newspaper, which is in the Substack article.
There's literally...
And they give witness testimony and who were the suspects and why was he a suspect.
I never heard the word Chattanooga newspaper before.
Yeah, the Chattanoogan. It's called the Chattanoogan. Really excellent reporting from them. Very good. And I was like, he didn't do it. It's obvious, if you ask me.
I think.
But it's been a cold case up until this year, and it's just been revived. So.
And he's fine, right?
You got to read it. We're trying to get them to read it.
Sorry, I forgot. But this is amazing because, like, basically, you're like, what's her name in Medium?
Oh, Medium. I see what you're getting at now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You walk into a room and you go, oh, God, there's a woman over there. And she's like,
never happened to me before. So
hasn't it?
No.
But
yeah.
It's just Brian. Let's cut back to Brian for a second.
Let's
just
have a look at Brian.
There's Brian.
Anyway, go to our Substack. Bandmade, it's called, and it's all about us as a band making stuff. No, I'm bunging the link in. And we must play the video now because we've kept you too long. It's 8:30.
Sorry.
It's been a long show.
It's been a long show. Has
it been a good show?
It's been all right, hasn't it? It's not been like the worst thing that happened to you all week.
Next month, it'll be our 3rd birthday, and we'll think of some way to celebrate.
Well, I know what we're going to do to celebrate.
The album,
I am going to delete
album.
all of the stems either tonight or tomorrow. So if you want the original stems that are on our thing and you're a booster, get them now. And then I'm going to stick all of the stems for compulsory games up. And then we're going to invite you to remix or play with or muck around with or just chew up and destroy and spit out.
Start something else out of one of the lines.
Completely. In any way you want. F with it. You're not allowed to say it. Come on. Not allowed to say that. Totally F with it. And then we'll release the bastard. Sorry.
It's all right.
I swore.
That's a
term,
isn't
and
it?
on that bombshell, I'd like to say good night to you all. What did we learn in the show tonight?
We learned a lot about people and a lot about technology.
Yeah, we did.
And you have the power. Don't forget.
You have the power.
So play the video.
Okay, it's time.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Thank you.